Full time, very badly, because we're not allowed to play anywhere in our circuit, lah. In the bar environment, restaurants, we're not allowed to play at this moment in time. So there's nothing we can do. Well, I started off as a lounge pianist, if you put it in that way, and then they've stopped that, saying we're not allowed to play in a bar and restaurant. So then now I've become looking after the place as kind of a staff and a security, looking after the SOPs in that way. I wouldn't say life changing, but there are sometimes where I can play, but we have to kind of disguise it, and then you go and do a couple of songs and then quickly come back down again. So there is still elements of doing music, but it's really like a hush game, and we're keeping an eye out for authorities and whatever else coming. So, which is, it's not a good thing, but that is work right now in that way. When when MCO, the first MCO started, we couldn't do anything anyway. So bars were not open. But when they came up to CMCO, then that's when they allowed some bars, some restaurants, bars and restaurants to be open. So we thought we could play, but it didn't happen. They said yes, or people were still unclear where you can play, cannot play. We're still a bit uncertain what's happening, what's going on. So, as we know, they've said they've given SOPs for musicians or to work or to play, but nobody's doing anything about it. There's nobody going up and saying, okay, we've given an SOP for us to work and play and perform in a place, but it's not been implicated. So there's no communication where there's SOPs, who are the authorities, who we're supposed to be listening to. Is it KKM or I don't know, Ismail or whoever? Nobody's coming up to say we can play. And the major question is, why can't we play when these SOPs have been given? So they were clear guidelines which were sent to the government based on SOPs, and it came back as busking. So the question mark then happened. If that was the case, then why isn't it been put forward to bars and clubs or bars, restaurants, for us to play back again? Why is it only busking that's allowed? And nobody seemed to have followed up on this SOP that has been given for musicians to play. There is nothing there, and everyone has just kept quiet, and saying this, saying that, and now they've gone back to something which is called busking, which the PM said at one stage, let's busk, and then they stopped that, and then now they're starting it back again. But all these things have got no clear-cut views. We don't know who we're listening to, authorities, or who is the person, who are the go-to people, what is happening, why can't we play in bars and clubs? That's the main fundamental question that I've been asking for since the bars were open. That's the side of it, which is the SOPs, which is already there in place, where we can't play. I've sent a few to associations, to people, but we could send any piece of paper to anybody, but nobody's going to read it. You need somebody who is at a specific level or is in touch with them to speak on behalf. I can't waltz up to Ibrahim or Ismail or whoever these people are, or to the DG and say, hey, why are you stopping me from work? I can't go up to these people. We are nobody. We're just bunch of musicians in the club. But if this SOP was given and it's in place, what is happening? It's already 9 months. What are they doing? No, they haven't done anything. They said they're doing stuff, but they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything because I think they themselves are not sure what is actually is going on. You know, you can do X amount of things. We can go live performances on streaming or whatever to garner some work or garner some money. Yes, but the fundamental is we are musicians that play in bars and restaurants and clubs. The question really is, why aren't these associations or people doing anything for us, which they've already given SOP, which is there at the government's table, but nothing's been done. Nobody has come back to say they've done something. And there's no go-to association. Who do I go to? Go to Freddie Fernandez, go to PPTS, or whatever new associations that's coming up. If you want to say, okay, we go ahead and give the SOP that's given, why can't we get the authorities from there to come to the bar and the venues, look exactly what we're doing, following the SOP that was given on their table, and say, what are these guys doing wrong? Everybody follows SOPs wherever we go. We have to be in My Sajatra, write your piece of name, take your temperature. Wherever we go, we're doing the same. But we are on a stage that's, I don't know how many yards away. Nobody comes to us. And do also remember when you perform, we don't simply get musicians up to the stage to jam. We don't want people taking our microphone to sing. We've already practiced that SOP years ago. That's not the thing, sanitize the mic. We can Dettol the mic ourselves. We've done it before. There's some guidelines, but it hasn't gone forward at all. I've written, no, the first initial start was Karyawan because Freddie was the one who sent the SOP to tourism. And at the end of it, I had the copy of it, of the SOP that he was about to send, which is the standard basic SOPs that anybody can do. But you send it to this person and retract to say that that is not the girl that we're supposed to send it to. It's supposed to be somebody or some other dato. I don't know who it is. But then he comes back to me to say, oh, why don't you send your things, get to this person. I said, how do I get to this person? I don't know this dato. And isn't you, Freddie, the person you are the go-to person? And then I find out later that it's not. It's PPTS. PPTS is an association that is the go-to people. We're supposed to be getting stuff from them, or they're supposed to be helping some shape or form of this thing that Freddie first started. But that's not been happening. So yes, they've approached me and I said yes. But during that time, I felt there's no need for it. I'll fend on my own. But I'll still question them and ask them. And which I'm still doing till today. They can call me, they have my numbers, and say, okay, I understand your points of view, blah, 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 but you declined it. I don't mind about, that's my fault. I declined it because I thought I can do it on my own, and which I am doing on my own. But if you come back with something constructive, or I can see something constructive that they're doing, or you're doing for us to work back in our environment, then yes. But there is nothing that's showing me that they are saying they're doing it to get us back to work. Yeah, okay, so the side of the coin is that if these SOPs were in place, given, the associations should be the ones carrying it forward to get us back our work. Why aren't they doing the job? That's my question. It's been my question from, well, how many months now? Let's say 6 months of RMC or CMC or whatever it is right now. That's me. Why aren't they doing anything? Yes, they can call me for a meeting and say come over, but if before even going into that, they know what I'm on about. They can already see. You don't need to call me for a meeting because you already know what I'm already saying. There's no reason for a meeting. You do something and follow up. Or follow what I've been saying, for example, or what everybody, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are saying and thinking the same thing. If you have an association this thing was in place, given to the government, it's on their table, why hasn't anybody come back to it? You can't use an argument saying, no, they made the decision. The government said, no, cannot. What they're trying to do? Shut down the bars, shut down the restaurants, shut down musicians from playing in pubs? Is it only a certain amount of musicians? Is it a race question mark? Well, what's going on?